Hello? Are we there? Hello? Hello, please. Hello? Let me check. I got my side PC over here. Let me check and see if I'm on up over here. Ads. Okay. But I am moving around and stuff. Okay, we good. We're good. Hello. Is that another refresh there? Okay, there we are. Firm stool. Hello, please. Hello. Yeah, second time this has happened tonight. My chunks are too chunky. They're destroying my PC. Is essentially what's happening here. My chunks are chunking. Chunking along. Okay, open everything back up. Yeah, do not click on the map when I'm generating this many chunks at a time. My computer does not like that. Okay, so that ended up looking better. Let me look at that again. It's creating a lot of islands, though. This is very interesting. Okay, so it's like the center of every chunk is like raised, depending. What is this doing over here? Okay. It's using 21 gigs of memory to generate all this. I should turn PCG off for this stuff, probably. Okay, so why is this so much now? Let's figure that out. Do I need to I may need to like reapply the height curve to this new value. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, this is more. I think we're back to normal now. Pretty much. Nice. Okay. Yeah, this is okay, look over there. Yeah, that little peninsula does not get blended well. That's that area, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at these zones over here. I want a new seed. Let's get a new seed. New seed time. Not water. Come on. Ah, yes. Right in the middle of the ocean. Okay, different seed. New seed. New seed. Still middle of the ocean. Not so far away though. There's land. Ho. There be land. Okay, so yeah, these are quite. Yeah, it's the. Okay, so I need to adjust my fall off map edge. I need to, when I'm generating the fall off map, I need to do a lerp. I need to do some sort of lerp curve. Let's actually, where's this at? Yeah, I'm gonna duplicate this. Actually, just delete it. Just delete it. How do I delete? Is delete not here? I can't. I guess I can't delete it if it's not saved, right? Or it's while I'm running. Delete. Delete. Okay. New curve. Let's create a new curve, and I'm going to use this curve to multiply against the fall off map values. Don't I have like a terrain? I have a terrain assets folder, right? That's where I put these. Yep. Okay. Now where is curve? Where is curve? I search curve. There we go. Nice. Curve float. Yes. Okay, so this is going to be fall off map smoothing curve. And we want to kind of lerp between 0 and 1, so we need to add a key here and add a key here. And take that up to 1, and then we need to change it to like what? Yeah, cubic interpolation on both of them. There we go, something like that. And so I can take this and multiply it by the fall off map values, because they should be values from 0 to 1. And so it'll get applied there and it'll smooth them towards the ends so that they don't just come to those straight points that we were seeing. I'm hoping that this is how that's going to work. And where do I want to do that at? Where do I want to do that? I guess I should just put it next to my height map. Or height curve, rather. Let's refactor this to actually be capitalized as well. Because where am I going to do this at? It should be in... this generate fall off map, which is just, it's a static function. Yeah, so I'll need to pass it in. Okay, go back there. Height curve, we're gonna do fall off map. I'll just call it fall off curve, it's probably good enough. And then we'll need to pass in, we'll just pass in noise data to this function. Okay. Let's go and update our usages here. Noise data. Noise data. Where else do we generate a fall off map? There's other places, right? Is it really only those two? Okay. But we had more. So now in our noise data, what am I? Oh God, what am I doing here? Map. So the value, yeah, I mean this should be easy then. Noise data. Let's do a check here so I don't crash when I rebuild. If noise data dot fall off curve, else. I'll just say mappy. Yeah, we'll do this. Get the float value there. Okay, this should be all fine and dandy now. Let's see how smooth this is. Processing assets. Progress for progress's sake must be prohibited. See, I knew there was another one. Why didn't it tell me about that one? I feel like I'm really starting to get the hang of this procedural stuff. Like doing the math and calculating the numbers and stuff. Like, what I'm doing now is something that would have been insane to me a year ago. And it's coming actually rather easily. A lot easier than I thought it would have. I'm very proud of that. Yeah, let's open all those assets up. And so what I'll need to do is assign that curve to the noise data, which is defined here. We want fall off at the smoothing curve. Okay, so play. I'm very curious to see how well this works. If I did it right and everything. Okay. We do need a better seed, but that's okay. Let's see. Yeah, I mean the points are gone. The pointiness is gone. It's still a little ridgy. We can smooth that out more as well. And then our coastlines are not. Coastlines look like shit now. Let's just be honest. So yeah, I need a new seed. Give me a new seed. Put me on land, dude. There's so many water seeds, man. I hate a water seed. Okay. I actually am curious to see what this one looks like. Yeah, it just so happens that there's like a lot of okay, and it actually looks like the mountains are taller now because I'm multiplying quite a bit there. But now the coastlines look really bad. And so what is the... There is no fall-off sides on this chunk. This one does have a fall-off side, and it's top right, which I guess is that direction. I'm having trouble. I need a seed where I can actually be on land. Maybe that's something I should try to fix real quick. Okay, another just dude. I swear, like the middle of these maps is so so watery. Not the opposite. There we go. Okay, this is the polar opposite map. Okay, this has so much fucking. We're right on a border too, so that's actually good. Okay, so I'm still getting some really unappealing seams here. And what is this seam from? We're trying to connect, yeah, the cardinal and ordinal direction. Yeah. They don't look great. They're still. I would have thought they would line up, right? I would have thought they would line up better now. These ones do. When they're the same, no they don't. No they don't. They're not two different LODs. And so, yeah, this is kind of a weird one. So this blue turquoise, I need larger biomes here. So let me change my noise settings to, I need larger world map, not world map, endless terrain. So this has like num cells is 500. Let's do half of that. So we're gonna have, I want 250 cells or zones here. So, okay, this looks quite a bit different. This might be a more appropriately sized zone here. Let's look around. Where the hell was I? I lost myself already. Lose yourself in the moment. You own it. But you're never gonna let it go. You only get one shot. This is dope though. I'm happy. This is looking sick. This is looking pretty sick. Okay, so this is a good size zone though. This is nice. When the zones are bigger, it looks a lot better. I gotta be honest. When they were small, it was like very hard to tell what a zone was. But this is actually very. This is looking pretty clear. There's no water there. That's interesting. I'm interested to see what this one up here looks like. But I don't want to click because that's going to crash my computer again. Yeah, this is really cool though. So I'm here, I'm facing this direction. So if I'm looking here, this yellow one is massive. This is a massive zone. And it's actually a bunch of, dude, look how big it is. It starts here, does this U, comes down here, goes over here. Even this is actually technically a part of it, although it would probably look like it's not. And then these as well. This is like the Barrens in WoW. These are interesting shaped zones, though, because of how the colors are connecting. But in the future, like I'm just doing these color. Like what's happening here is I have a bunch of Voronoi cells that are generated, and so like this yellow one is actually a bunch of Voronoi cells. Like the Voronoi cell looks like this blue one right here, right, and that yellow, like. If this green one was yellow, it would look like it was connected, but it's not. And I'm just assigning random colors to each Voronoi cell. And because I just happened to get a bunch of random yellow ones all together, it created this massive zone. And so when I have more biomes, I'm not necessarily going to have that. But it's kind of nice, right? Like this is a very, I don't want just zones that are the same, like these three zones here are kind of uninteresting, right? They're all just like, you know, plain concave. This one has straight borders, so that's somewhat interesting. They're all very, you know, concave, not interesting. So I may do a pre-pass like this to see what to connect and build these zones. And then apply the biomes after that. To maintain some of these different size zones and stuff. So yeah, let's. I'm gonna do a different seed. I want to work on now the coastline to zone border differences. Yeah, I need it. Maybe I should just fix spawning in water. Well, maybe I should do that. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break though. Before I do that, I'm gonna run some ads real quick as well. Okay, we back. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, let me I'm gonna commit this. I'm gonna commit this. This is actually nice. Okay, that's concerning. We're gonna ignore it though until something goes wrong. I'm gonna say biome zone border. I'll say apply inverse fall off map to biome zone borders. Commit and push. Are we pushing? What's going on here? Pushed one commit. Okay, why is this refresh? Uh-oh. Okay, I need to amend. Amend, commit, push, yes. Okay, now we're good. Okay, let me pick another random seed here. I just want to see, can we get one? Can we get one that's not in the middle of the goddamn ocean? No, we can't. No, we can't. Okay, so let's fix this issue real quick. I say real quick. I already took one stab at it and failed because it's not working. So world map. Map display can go away. World map is where we do this. This is where we generate that world map I just showed. Yeah, and so essentially, if I generate one of these maps and the pixel at the center is black, then It's no good. 'Tis no good. And I recurse. How many times here? Okay, I thought I was logging how many times I was recursing doing that. Yeah, here's the recurse right here. Is it valid spawn pixel? And so the world map render target, is this in black and white at that point? Yes, it is. Okay. This would be in black and white. And let me just, I'm going to step through here. So we have one here. Pixel data at the index. I'm doing 0.5. I don't think 0.5 is the right number to be doing here. Can I see some of this pixel data? Yeah, I mean that's pretty. This is the amount of black and white it is. So black would be 000, and so I do color to 01, which I don't think I need this anymore. I think I can do. I say anymore because I'm smarter now. Dot to as reinterpret as linear. Why not just generate an island at the spawn location? Because that's not that simple. So what the whole flow for this is like, I generate a height map with using Perlin noise, and I can kind of look at that here a little bit. Generate noise. I generate a noise map here, but it's a height map, and I have all these different parameters in here. I have some amplitude, I reference frequency, I have octaves, I have some lacunarity in there as well, amplitude, frequency, and that generates essentially what this black and white map, where something white is going to be tall and something black is going to be towards the bottom of the ground. And so it's not like I can just iterate, and this is just a 2D array of floats between 0 and 1, and so it wouldn't be that easy for me to just generate an island in the middle of the map, right? Because I would essentially, it's just a lot. I should just regenerate the map until I get a valid one for this seed, because that would be essentially what I would be doing anyway at a smaller scale, and then I would have to figure out how to take these two different height maps and then merge them together, and that's a lot of work. Generate another height map that always has white values, add that into the center of the world height map. Yeah, but then I would have to lerp in between white and black at the edges to make it smoothly go into like getting the chunks to match up together from two different height maps in a way where the noise blends properly is just more work, right? Like I would have to create a whole different piece of functionality to do that, to stitch these two maps together in a way that's not jarring. I mean, yeah, it's possible. What you're saying definitely isn't, it's not like a bad idea or anything. I just think that that's more work. And what I'm just going to do instead is just keep generating maps until I get one with some land in the middle. Which to me seems conceptually simpler than having to do all that extra work stitching two different height maps together. What are my functions here? BW color? What is this? Is the world height map static after generation, as it won't change ever again? Yeah, it'll be the same for the seed every time you play. Different seed, different map. Although the player can modify it by digging. I have a pickaxe in the game that can deform the terrain. That changes it then. I mean, what you're setting could still work for that, right? You would just have to use the seed to generate the second height map, right? You could still do that. Adding an island is effectively the same operation. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, right? Like, it's the same thing, just do it smaller. And so there's another problem that I'm going to run into as well. And that is, I don't want a player to, you know, create their character and spawn into a world that has like barely any land on it. So I'm going to have to parse through the entire height map and determine if there's enough land for this to be valid as well. So you will have to write that code eventually anyway. Not 100% sure what you're referring to there. How do I change this? I want a float from 0 to 1. Oh well, I'll just stick with the function I had. Undo. So yeah, I need a color to 01. And if it's less than 0.5, it's not valid. And let me actually, I'm gonna do this. It's actually a log pixel there. Yeah, and I'm just trying to see what this value is. So we're gonna just move on by run live coding there. Okay. So yeah, like this map that was generated, there's not that much land on here. So this would be a map that I would want to throw away. Okay, okay, and so I recursed on that one. Hang on, let's do this again. $26 times. And why did I stop at 26? Is there a limit? Or do I just go forever? Yeah, I don't think I did a limit. So why did it think this was a valid pixel? Can we put that breakpoint back and rerun this? Okay, so color here is 0. So return false. Yeah, we're gonna do this 26 times, by the way. Also 0, also 0, 0. This one is not 0. What would this be? This would be 116 times 3 divided by 256 times 3. Wait, is that right? What's 256 times 3 is 768. Okay, so I want 116 plus 116 plus 116. No. So that's 0.45. Why did I pick 0.5 here? Why did I pick 0.5 here? Because 0 is... And is that the... Yeah, there's a lot of other ones that are like... These are very gray. 148, is that... 148, that feels like that should be above 0.5. That is above 0.5. I want to try that again now. I think I just picked 0.5 because I was essentially assuming that if I found a pixel that is over 0.5 in color, then it should be nearby enough other pixels to spawn on some sort of map. Okay, it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.45, okay. 0.07. Okay. 0.57. So this should be... Oh, then I check all the ones around it. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I think this probably did more harm than good. So essentially what I'm doing here is making sure that there's not just like a single pixel in the middle of the ocean that I'm spawning on. Which, like, what's the likelihood of that, right? What's the likelihood of that? It did happen. It was an edge case, and so that's why I wrote this. But I think 0.5 is kind of harsh here. So I think maybe if I just do... Let's do 0.1 here. The first one can be 0.5, just to make sure that we're around enough other ones. Yeah, let's do that. Hello? Yeah, this is a completely different map now. I still spawned on a chunk that doesn't have anything around it. Like, this should have been a oh, that looks ridiculous. Yeah, our coastlines got messed up when we did the zone borders. And so this one, what happened here with this one? Plus size X. That'll be going to the next row. This pixel data, yeah, it's a 1D array. So that would go to the next row. This would be the corner, the next row bottom right, I believe, and then this would be next row. This would be bottom left. This would be top. Top right, top left. This would be right and left. And so I guess it's surprising to me that with this logic, I can click spawn here, and the map that I get. Okay, okay, that worked differently now. Okay, we didn't have the full live coding code when I did it last time. Okay, so this might be a much better solution. So let's take a look here at our zone. Nice. Okay, let me pull the map back up here. We're in a blue zone. So there should be yeah, we're at there's a corner of 2 zones here. Right there, or 3 zones. There's a zone, there's a zone, here's a zone. And so yeah, so this blue zone here is essentially this shape, although I'm looking at it upside down, right? Yeah, so this would be, so this red, yellow, blue is, here's the blue right here, here's the red, here's that yellow. Live coding is such a trap, it seems, dude. I know, it always bites me in the ass, man. It always bites me in the ass. You know, you touch a header file, you just think about a header file, and it's like, nope, your whole thing is fucked now. They're still looking quite seamy. No, I did apply the smoothing fall-off curve to it, but maybe I need something, I need a smoother smooth. How do I make a smoother smooth? Something like something like that? Yeah, yeah. Maybe I don't want it to be like flat at the top. But yeah, it still seems like I can definitely see the line. And that might actually be just because the lighting, the normals aren't correct on those last pixels, because they don't take into account the normals of the pixels on the next door chunk. And something like that, I need to, yeah. I think the pixels, the vertices on the very edge are, I need to handle those differently. Because the way I'm calculating these fall-off maps is essentially distance from the opposite side. And so I think maybe the very last pixels on that side need to not really be subtracted at all. How much noise are you adding in those curves and ridges? How do I quantify that? how do I tell you how much noise I'm using? I don't know how to answer that question. Okay, so maybe I can show you. I have a test map for this. I'm hoping it still works because I've made changes since I've last used it. Okay. Oh, wow, that was, where the hell am I? Okay. That is an example of a height map. Or a fall-off map here. Let me see, this might crash. Fall-off map. There it is. Okay, here's a fall-off map. And so this is a fall-off map on the bottom and right side. And so that's what that looks like. And then I take that, and for the coastlines, I subtract that from the chunk. And for the borders, I do the opposite. I add it to the chunk. Variance over total height or something. Variance over total height. Yes. But yeah, I don't know, maybe this gives you a better idea. This is just the fall off map generation. And then if you do like the like an ordinal direction, like bottom right, that was 3 directions, that probably looks the same. If I do top left, there you go. So this is a bottom right and top left fall off map. Because I had to handle ordinal directional fall-offs as well. So that's what just a top left looks like. So that would be like this orientation. Top left fall-off map there. That's top. Let's do bottom right and top left. I don't know what. I don't know if that answers your question at all. It does do a nice job of explaining, but so I take this curve is what I apply to my my terrain chunk, noise map, height map, and so like this would be underwater right here because 0 is here, and so 0 is up here as well. So anything but any number between 0 and what is this 0.3 is actually underwater, moves it underwater, and then we create a nice little ridge surrounding the water. And then there's some flat area right after that, and then this is like all the mountains and stuff up here. And for that fall-off map, that was a very flat fall-off map, right? So that's why I have this. To smooth it out. If I move that over one, let's actually see what that looks like. It's going to be kind of flat at the top now, if I'm not mistaken. Because of that. Yeah, it's a little yeah, it's got a little flatness at the top here now. But yeah, I think it's just lighting that makes it look like that. I haven't calculated because it's like that on these ones too, where I'm not doing a fall off map on these ones, but you can still see like. You can still see the seams. See, there's a corner. And then I'm just relying on foliage to kind of hide that stuff. You can't fucking tell when you're looking at a forest like this. I imagine it'll look more different when you add more directions or decorations, random rocks, boulders, priorities. Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. Like this hides it well, right? But yeah, definitely. I know how to fix it. It's just a pain in the ass, and I haven't done it yet. What you need to do for something like this is like I'm calculating the normals per vertice myself here, and I'm doing that by averaging the 3 vertices of a triangle for the polys on it. The problem is when you do that, you don't get the vertices or the normals of the next triangle over. So like this. Their normal information ends on that line. So essentially what I need to do is I need to generate one more row of vertices on the outside. And that'll be the next set of vertices in the next chunk over. And then that way I can generate the normals correctly and you won't even see the seams at all. So that's how you fix that. And it becomes an even more difficult issue when you have different LODs. Because if you look, let me turn off some stuff here. Turn off the render. I probably can't turn off the biomes, but if you look here, like, see this gap here? There's a gap in between these 2 chunks because they're at different levels of detail. This chunk has much less vertices than this chunk, and so it's kind of like it's skipping all this noise here. And so what you have to do is actually to seam these together is you have to generate another row at the highest level of detail around every single chunk in order to stitch it together properly. Like the last row here needs to be the lowest LOD. And then you have to connect these triangles to that. So very, very annoying to do. Very annoying. But yeah, I'm actually happy with how this looks from like in-game. Like, this is a nice little zone. Ignore that. Ignore that. But yeah, it feels nice. It feels like an actual zone, you know, like a WoW zone or something. And what I'm gonna do is actually, because right now it's just surrounded by mountains, right? There's no way to get from zone to zone other than if you just built a stairway to heaven, so to speak. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna like pick some random chunks to not have these inverse fall-off maps. I don't know what to call them. Inverse fall-off map, rise-up map. That won't have these fall-off maps added on top of them to create the borders. and that'll create like a natural little, it's like a pass, right? Like a mountain pass that you can go through to get to the next zone. And then eventually I'm wanting to do things with like purlin worms, is what I'm thinking. There's some other generation methods to do there, and for me to play around with as well. But it'll create little caves, is what I'm planning on. So things can be actually convex rather than just a height map, a concave height map. But yeah, these purlin worm caves and holes can be, I can just use one to go through these mountains, right? And I can create a passageway. You know, I'm thinking like in Dunmorrow to Loch Modan, I forget what they call them, but there's like a tunnel that you go through to get from one of those zones to the next one. And so I want to do things like that, right? Potentially have some quests or something to oh, a follow. Thank you, mate. Max Malcolm Mosley. Thank you. Welcome. But yeah, I want to have like quests to get from zone to zone potentially. Maybe not every zone, but like, you know, maybe there's another faction that controls this zone. And hey, mate, how you doing, Max? How you doing? We're talking zones, we're talking biomes, we're talking procedural generation. But yeah, I want to, like, you know, maybe like imagine if these two chunks here weren't there, and there was like a little, maybe even these 4 chunks, right? And there's like a faction in this zone that just built a wall across here, and you had to like become friends with that faction before they let you in, right? Like maybe that wall is getting attacked by a bunch of stuff, and if you kill that stuff for them, they're like, hey, you know, maybe we trust you now, let you in. Maybe they just don't speak the language you speak, so you have to find some knowledge on that language to be able to talk to them. Then yeah, here's our nasty coastlines, and these did look great. They did. I think the smoothing kind of fucked them up a little bit. One, the smoothing the function that I applied messed them up, but also you can see here, this is one of these mountain borders that I've done, and then this is the fall off map. They don't line up great, right? They don't line up great. So I need to essentially take into account the next chunk over to determine how to blend these two, right? I need to know from what to what are we doing for each chunk. Joined like 5 seconds ago, and all I heard was procedural gen and a reference to classic WoW. And you covered everything I'd be interested in. Hell yeah, hell yeah. So it sounds like you and I are cut from the same cloth. Yeah. You know, I play games like Valheim where they do procedural generated biomes, and I love Valheim for many reasons. But their biomes are very static, actually. Like they are procedurally generated, but it's the same biome with the, you know, same creatures, same meshes, same colors, you know, and it's more importantly, it's the same difficulty, right? The Meadows biome is always the starter biome. And I wanted to do a couple things different there. One of which is to, you know, there can be a high level Meadows biome, you know. Take for instance, you know, you have Elwyn Forest in WoW. It's the starter zone. It's very grassy and friendly, and it's a nice little forest, right? But when you get to a higher level, there's also something like what would be like the highest level of grassy, like Ungoro Crater, probably. It's more jungly, but it's still like a kind of like a friendly looking type place. And so I want to be able to reuse assets between biomes and combine them in different ways, use different materials, different assets, different creatures, potentially have you know, maybe reuse a couple biomes in the early game and late game, but put different creatures and threats in them to make them feel different. So that was one thing I wanted to do differently. And then another thing was like the biomes in something like Valheim, they just kind of blend from one into the other, and there's no defined borders. I mean, there is a border, right? It's just an imaginary line drawn where one biome ends and the other one begins, and you know, I guess there's probably a little bit of blending happening there. But what I wanted was like how WoW has it, like zooming out here, you can see these mountains clearly define a zone, right? And it's like a contained area. I wanted things like this because I feel like it's a lot more fun to explore, and it allows like the zone to kind of define itself better in a way that gives it more characteristics, rather than just like if everything was flat and there's no mountain borders, right? So that's kind of my thought for doing this today. is I just want, and I don't want every single border to be a mountain. I think next steps, first of all, I need to fix my coastlines and get these blended properly. But I think next steps are to, you know, make some paths in between each zone, first of all. But then also, some of these, I need to actually like define a zone, because right now there's no definition for it. And I'm talking like technically, like code-wise. There's no definition. Love my analysis. Oh, thank you, mate. Yeah, I'm very passionate about game design, so I love talking about it. I love that there are others interested in it that I can talk to about it, so thank you. But, yeah, there's nothing defining these zones. They're not really zones yet. They're pixels on this map, right? And each pixel relates to a terrain chunk. And I just, like, get the pixel on the map and tell the chunk how to render, right? I don't actually define, hey, this blue section here is Elwyn Forest, or, you know, whatever. So I need to create like an actual definition for that and have the zone information, like how big it is and where its boundaries are. Because obviously what this map looks like now is not what I want the map to look like when the game is finished or anything like that. So I need to define these zones, and part of defining these zones in code would be to define their edges. And once I define their edges, I can potentially not have some of the zones have these borders, right? Some of the zones can blend smoothly between one and the other, not really have a hard defined border. You know, thinking something like the border between Thousand Needles and Hinterlands, right? Like there's no mountain or anything there, but it just kind of smoothly blends from one to another. So I definitely want to have some zones like that as well. So this is just first steps. But yeah, let's figure out what the hell's going on with our coastlines here. And so I recently changed how I was doing things in this map generator. So I moved applying my height curve to like the first step, and I did that so that I could have more control over these mountains, right? These borders and eventually the coastlines, because what it looked like at first was like the mountains inside the zone were just as high as the mountains that encapsulated the zone, which made it very difficult to see the differences between the zones. And I think in general I would like the mountains that define a zone to be taller. So that's why I did that. And that's what we got. We got that. And so what was I doing here? This is where I'm subtracting. So I want to see. Let me take this off. Let me take. I'm kind of double applying the height curve there. I'm wondering if that's what I should have done. Because here I'm just adding, and I'm also clamping between 0 and 1 here, which doesn't seem. I shouldn't be clamping between 0 and 1 anymore. Because I'm no longer dealing with things in the 0-1 range. Because I've already applied the height map curve, and the height map curve is how I take something from a 0 to 1 and turn it into something that's tall. So let me see what that. Okay, so we still have our. Okay, so we still have that defined. Let's go over here. Okay, so this looks better now. So I just basically shouldn't have been double applying that, but it doesn't look. It looks better, but not right. What do you have? You have a top right fall off map applied. You also have a border sides applied, but that's not affecting you. And your border side is also on top right. Is that correct? So top right would be like that orientation. So this would be top right. Yeah, why are these, and this has a border applied? No, it just has a fall-off side applied. But why isn't it, oh, I guess, like, yeah, I guess we have, like, a bunch of, it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's a bunch of little tiny biomes or zones here on the border that I'm looking at here. Maybe I should try to find a different seed where I spawn closer to this side. Yeah, because like something like this, right? Like this doesn't have any fall-off applied. This does. And so actually, let me look here. So I'm actually surprised that the mountain, because I'm not actually doing anything with the curve on the mountain. I'm just gonna Let's just get rid of the curve there and see what happens. I want to see what that looks like unadulterated. Give me the raw footage here. Okay, yeah, and then let's pull that up and pop out and head over there. Okay, so that looks better. It's quite an aggressive fall-off map now that I'm subtracting. So, okay, so the different chunks are blending together a little bit better. The ones that don't have the zone borders on them are, but it's quite drastic. We don't want it to be that drastic. It used to not be that drastic. And it's because I'm not probably... Do I still want to clamp it? Sure. Let's see what the clamp looks like here. Let's rerun that. Let's go look at those. Okay. Yeah, okay, I remember now. This is, yeah. So we're not subtracting enough now. And so that's why, because we clamped it between 0 and 1, and it's no longer in between that. But that's why, maybe I should just do the noise data dot height curve dot, what is it, like get float value, yeah. So maybe I'll just do it once here after I've subtracted them. They kind of like re-put it back into those terms. But again, maybe that's too much. And it's going to be that steep version of it again. Let's take a look here. Okay, yeah, that's way too much, and they don't even line up now. I think that makes sense. And when I did it there at the end, even though I did it there, that didn't match up either. And so maybe, what do I want to do here? I'm going to subtract each... And so the fall-off map is... Let me look at where I generate this. And my fall-off map smoothing curve is what is probably, I'm just gonna take this to like half, 0.5, there we go. And so this is gonna make the mountains smaller. But I'm thinking maybe I just multiply it by 2 for the mountains, and then that'll basically make it what I want in essence. What do we got? Where are they at? Okay, so that is still that. Did I run that correctly? Okay, so I didn't. There we go. Heading over here. Okay, they're matched up correctly now, but it's still very, very drastic. Yeah, maybe I should just like try divide it in 2 as well, because it's taking values at the vertical axis and translating them into values at the horizontal axis. Means 1 would turn into 0.5. What if I just did something like that, and so it would like flatten the seafloor out, but then it would make my mountains look terrible. What if I just did something real light here? Real light fall off. Okay, I think this is looking better. Let me see. Yeah, okay, that's looking better. And so I definitely want to, another thing I want to do, so if you're looking at the map now, there's brighter colors and darker colors. And generally speaking, the darker colors are towards the black, which is the water. And so what I want to do is actually have the brightness of the color, or the blackish and whiteness of the color, affect the average altitude of that chunk. And so chunks near sea level are going to be lower, right? Or near, I should say, chunks near the coastlines are going to be lower, closer to sea level. And these bright ones here in the middle will be, on average, higher up. So that's another thing I want to do. But again, blending those together and getting them to match up is the work there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a great idea on how to like make these match up. I know that I'll need to look at the next one over. But it's really annoying because you'll essentially have to look at every single side. I want to see what are the... Yeah, the borders aren't very well defined now either. So I'm going to need to like multiply by like 5 or something. There. Yeah, so get rid of the clamped value. I don't want the clamped value here either, so let me actually just get rid of that times 0.5 as well. So we're adding the fall off map here, just doing the opposite, and that's what's creating those mountains. And so if I don't clamp it to 0 and 1, what happens? We still get some borders. How does that look, though? Yeah, they're not like tall enough. You can just walk over those, right? You can't even tell them apart, really. So let's just multiply that by fall off map value. Let's just multiply it by 5. 5.0f. There we go. Because I took it down the curve, this curve, I took it down from 1 down to 0.2. So if I multiply that by 5, it should take it back up for the mountains. And this will essentially be like a zone border height multiplier. Oh my god! Okay, all right, all right. That's steep. That is a steep. Okay, maybe not that high. But let me go into my noise data, which is where I store all the variables for this stuff. I do have a height multiplier. And let me do another one of these, and I'll just call it zone border height multiplier. And that's what we'll put here. That way I can play with it a little better without having to compile everything. Oh yeah, it doesn't like that. I'll have to rerun it. Whee! Oh no. Video card ran out of memory. Is my stream still going? I think it's good. OBS does not seem to want to show my face. Okay, so the OBS feedback display for me is not moving, but I guess it's I guess on the stream it looks fine. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just not going to see what I look like. That's okay. That's okay. I didn't want to anyway. Are we building? We are building. Okay, so it'll probably be set to 0. That zone border multiplier. Yeah, open those up. So I want to change it to something that's not 0. Then it would just flatten everything. That could be interesting looking, but not exactly realistic. Where is that? Zone border height multiplier. And so this is essentially how much taller So let's just take it to 2, because I did 5 and that was crazy. Let's just take it to 2. It'll essentially be twice as high as everything around it. Is that, if I'm understanding what this is doing correctly? Yeah, that seems reasonable. That seems reasonable. Twice as high. I want to see if I can run up these. God, they're so much bigger when I'm on my character looking at them. Like this blue zone is actually a pretty fucking big zone, right? That's good. I want that feeling. It'll be really fun when I get to like the POI type stuff, and then I'll be done with PCG, of course, because it's really good at spawning static meshes and stuff. Can I actually run up this all the way? It's probably too steep. It's not. Holy shit. Good lord, that mountain is huge. But yeah, I can actually get into the next one. So maybe like a 2.25 actually. Maybe like a 2.25. Because I think I was almost there to not being able to run my boat. Go over here. May need to bump this up to a 2.5. Okay, I'm struggling a little bit to get up here. It's good. Oh my god, what is my walking incline? Like, this is nuts. Maybe I'll just need to turn that down, because these mountains are already kind of fucking crazy tall. Let's ride all the way down. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. Okay, I guess that's one way to get down the mountain. Okay, we'll bump it up to 2.5. 2.5. Alright, we'll call that good for now. So, now we need to figure out what to do about blending our our zone border mountains and our coastline mountain tiles together, because they do not look good. So I'm just gonna zoom on over there. Look at some of these. Yeah, so yeah, the corners of the fall-off maps look a little straight, so blending those better would be good, but not important right now. This is more important because this looks terrible. And so how would I do this, right? How would I do this? Because I've got a chunk here that is telling itself that it's on the edge of a biome, and I've got a chunk here that's telling itself that it is on the edge of the ocean. And so I need to blend between the two. Do I need to apply both? If I just apply both fall-off maps, does it actually... I'm multiplying by 5 for the... let me actually... Because right here, what I'm doing is I'm saying if fall-off sides is not empty, apply the coastline stuff. Let me actually put that out. Apply coastline fall-off, and then this will be apply zone border mountains. And so I'm saying if fall-off sides is empty, apply those. So if I just don't do that, and I apply both to the same chunk, does that fix the problem, or does it just make it look even shittier? It'd be great if this just fixed my problem. That, so the problem here, so it's going to treat, so the way I'm determining whether or not a chunk is a border chunk is if the color of the pixel next to it, because each pixel in this map represents a chunk, a terrain chunk, if the pixel next to it is a different color, then it's a border. And so it's next to black, so we're just gonna essentially outline. We don't have any smooth coastlines anymore, is what I'm saying. There's mountains along the coast because the ocean is a different biome, technically speaking. Don't I have biome? I have biome pixel data. Wait, and I am using it. This actually shouldn't have the, hang on, we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna copy and paste that there, and this will show me on the map, because this is what this one is what I'm coloring the map with, and then this one is what I'm using to determine the zone borders with, because I need a flat color and not one that has like the darkness and lightness in it. Okay, so this is what the biome map looks like, just on its own, before I apply the height map to it. Okay. So it actually shouldn't be, I guess it just kind of happened to also be on the coastline. We may need to let me take a peek at some other coastlines in a different seed. Endless terrain here, different seed, just a random one there. I would actually prefer to be spawned in the ocean this time. Oh, perfect, we're like right on a coastline. Sick. Oh, this is perfect. What a quaint little start. Oh, this is so cute. Look at this little line. Oh, that's not cute. Need to fix that. This is adorable. This is such a fucking adorable start. And you just like run over here, and you get to the mainland. This is pretty. This is pretty. And my coastlines look fine now, actually. Ah, son of a bitch. And I'm gonna fall through the world now. Yep, okay, let's start that over. I need to fix that. Dude, that is actually the #1 thing that probably is taking up my time right now. It's having to restart because the ragdoll can't fucking stand up on its own sometimes. Like, this is a cute... Look at this. I should probably get rid of all these little islands. I don't know how much how much value they generate here. Probably just make it difficult to navigate the water. But these are essentially the tops of mountains before I subtracted the fallout map. Yeah, so maybe I just need to do a little something different there. But yeah, the coastlines look good now, actually. So let me find a coastline that is also the edge of a biome. So if I'm looking this way, let's run to this yellow biome over here. You know, even just applying the zone borders is already making this look quite a bit more featurey, if that makes sense. It's more interesting, is what I'm saying. Because like before, it was just the same, you know, the same noise. Like, uh-oh, what's happening? Hello? Oh, we've crashed. Oh, God. Am I still on Twitch? This is what happened. I'm generating so many chunks that when I teleport across the map and have to generate new ones, that my video card runs out of memory. And it's very hard to tell if I'm still streaming to Twitch right now. I guess I am, okay. Twitch looks good. Twitch looks good. Yeah, I liked that map quite a bit. Okay, yes, open those back up. Okay, so my rain sound... No thank you, Papa Murphys. There we go. Shit. Why did that close? Chrome just quit. Restore Chrome. Okay, I'm glad I have a second PC streaming the giving me feedback on the stream. Okay, we're still good on Twitch. My face is still frozen on my OBS feed, but other than that, we're doing great. Yeah, I wanted to head over here. I wanted to head over here to the edge of that biome. I see some missing. I see a gap over there, so. I'm guessing it's not going to be perfect. Maybe it's better than before. It's looking very pretty though. Where am I at? Oh god, dude, these zones are actually very big. It also doesn't show the islands. Is that actually how big the ocean is there? Why doesn't it seem like that big? Like from here to here? Oh, what? Oh. It's not actually. What is happening here? Oh! It's drawing the zone borders on where the zone would be if the ocean wasn't there. That actually looks kind of cool. It's crazy. Look at that. Okay. This is interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess that this one is the this has fall off. Yeah, this has a border side and a fall off side to it. So that is our proper test there, and it actually looks okay. It actually looks okay. Now, because I'm using the map without the height map, I'm using the biome map, color map that doesn't have the world height map applied to it. I'm literally outlining each. It actually looks kind of cool, right? This green zone would be massive, right? And look at this little tiny pass over here. Look at that. It's so neat. It's so neat that this actually fucking works. Like I didn't even I just applied both fall off maps and it just worked. That's pretty sick. Okay, but so now what I need to do, and the reason I was using the full color map rather than the one with the ocean applied was so that because to determine if a pixel is on the border, I have to look at the color of the next pixel, and I was like, hey, are these equal? And when there's technically all these pixels would be border pixels under that classification if I used this color map. So that's why I had to use the other one. The flat color map, essentially. But now what I need to do is I just need to check if I need to check the world chunk flat biome map. And where am I using this? I'm using it, go away. I know where it is. Yeah, it's here. So I need to check if the next color is not equal, and make sure that my current color at this index is not 0. Yeah. So I can just say something like chord color No, not chord color. I have to do another one of this. And this is going to be like coordinate color with what do I want to call it map? Like ocean map? The coordinate color with world map color. I'll say not flat chord color. And rather than that one, I need to just use this one. I need to say, like, if this is not equal to, yeah, F color 0, 0, 0. Or rather, if it is equal, just return. Return empty. Just return border size, it's empty as well. Okay, let's see what happens here. Let's regenerate this and see what this looks like. Okay. And they're gone. And they're gone. But yeah, the edges look like shit now. So when they have both a fall-off map and the height and the border map applied, this one has all of them applied though. Okay, so why these ones had opposite ones? That's why this one works, right? This has a left, a top left, and then it has a bottom left. So these are ones that don't conflict with each other. So I have to handle the cases where it has fall-off sides and border sides that conflict with each other. And I guess like the one I should take determines what side what is on, I suppose. Am I really gonna have to run through every single scenario for all 8 sides in order to get it blended down into this chunk here? Or is there a better mathier way? I'm thinking that there should be a mathier way to get these blended together. The fireworks are in full swing right now. My dogs are handling it well, surprisingly. Yeah, what would I do here? Because, like, I would want, like, these... everything on these edges to be... all the vertices on these edges to be the same. I mean, and this one. Okay, so what do I have to, like... I apply the coastline map, right? I do coastline and then I do the mountains. So actually, let me see. Let me see what it looks like without the multiplier, and see how close that is. Because it's gonna be with the multiplier, the mountain multiplier. That's gonna just further divide it, and maybe it's already okay without it, and then I just need to figure out how to translate between those two. Okay, map. Go look at that. No, it still looks bad. It looks quite bad. And you can't even like see the zone borders anymore. That's to be expected. Okay, so what do I do with you? You are the problem chunk. I suppose you're also a problem chunk. Now let me look here. Do these two? Ooh, these two don't line up. Fuck. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. So I need to find a way. And so what are the fall off sides on this one? I have a fall off on the left and top left. So I think that would be this orientation. This is left, and then top left is up here. But I think the reason it's not this corner still there is because we applied the mountain to it. And so I guess when... That's what I need to do here. Is just find a way to combine these two values. I have these two fall-off maps, and I just need a way to like blend the values together. What would I do here? So this one just has fall-off sides on it. And I guess if I just added the border sides to this one, or rather, this has fall-off sides on all sides, but it didn't do it. I think the border sides maybe... Let me look at what I'm doing here. What would I do? I guess I should just get the average of the two and then add that. Would that work? So rather than doing two loops here, let's just do one loop. Okay, we're gonna do one loop. Add, and then we'll do then I'll need the border map val. Does this do anything productive? Okay, that seemed to fuck everything up. The whole world looks bad now. Oh, it's all bad. Oh, why does that look so bad? There's no ocean anymore. And so what would the, why is that? What does the border map look like if there's nothing? I essentially want to do this if it's non-zero, right? If fall-off map is non-zero and border map is non-zero, then we do that. Maybe I'll just do like, well, let's do float val equals 0. If fall off map and just maybe do something like if border map val greater than 0 and fall off map val greater than 0, then we do this. Is this gonna do something? Okay, it still looks like shit. Yeah, that's not... That ain't right. That ain't right. Oh, because I'm adding... I should make the fall-off map val negative there. I think that's probably what needs to happen. Yeah. And then I actually should do that here as well, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this is something. Okay. I don't think this is what we want. And so here is our... We don't have our zone borders anymore. Yeah, this is like completely fucking different. Yeah, and it's still an issue. That's still an issue. And I guess checking if it's 0 and applying it is not the move. It's actually checking if the chunk has a fall-off map on the same side. Right? It's not checking if the value is greater than 0. That's why everything looked different. Because this is just for a single chunk. Although these ones might be... Doing that might be fine. Right? Well, I guess I'm not checking if the... Okay, so I'm not checking if the noise map value is greater than 0. Checking if the fall-off map at this point is greater than 0. And if they're both greater than 0 at this point, get their average. And so why didn't that corner look good? Border map val and fall map val are both greater than 0. Get the average. So yeah, our mountain borders are completely gone now. Except for this one, which like... This has border sides on it. So why does that one look? I guess maybe I'm just not multiplying it enough there because I'm doing the average. Maybe. I guess let me look at the fall off map values if I can. I don't think I can in Writer. I hope I can. Okay, so that didn't execute. Okay, border map. Can I see all the values here? No, I fucking can't. Ooh, that's so annoying. Okay, it technically is greater than 0, isn't it? Okay, wait, so the border sides is empty. But that's still greater than 0? Okay, so that's seems to be an issue. So maybe I'll just say if border sides dot is empty. Is not empty. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, terrain looks okay. I suppose I still don't see the borders. And this is still messed up. So that seemed to do nothing. It seemed to do nothing. It is getting pretty late for me though, and there's a bunch of fireworks going off outside that I'm probably going to go watch. So that's going to be it for me for tonight. Hopefully I'll be back on tomorrow morning to work on this stuff, or tomorrow around noon, I think, is probably when I will. So yeah, hopefully you guys all come back and check me out then, but for now, I'll see you later.